Dr. Simi, everyone, and today he seems really shy. Oh my, now he's going to hide behind the pillar. Now that is a true Mexican apartment, isn't it? Proudly flying the Mexican flag. Love it. Anyway, I'm Paul, an English guy, showing you Mexico through my eyes. And today, I'm going to be talking about the things you always seem to find in a Mexican house. Now, obviously, not every Mexican household has everything I'll talk about today, but many do. All I'm going to do is select a few of the very Mexican belongings that have caught my attention as a foreigner living in Mexico. Hola. Ooh, I think she likes me. I'm standing outside a local market and I think this is a good place to start today's video because inside the market you can find a lot of the must-have Mexican things that people buy for their home. And the first thing that is so common in Mexico is this, the Herberger. Now, I think for Mexicans watching, you might be thinking, really? You chose this first? What are you doing, Tio Paul? But this is Mexico through my eyes as an English guy. And let me tell you, for me, this is such a Mexican thing and something I associate with Mexico. Here is one I randomly found drying in the sun just meters from where I'm standing. Now, although you do find different colors, the majority of Herbergers will be in the classic red, blue and grey stripes. And of course, the classic but basic Herberger design must have originally been inspired by the incredible and more impressive textiles found in the indigenous cultures of Mexico. So, the Herberger, you find them pretty much in all Mexican households, and with a design that has roots to the indigenous cultures of this great land, it's totally true Mexico. And the next thing that so many homes in Mexico will have is an artifact of the Virgen de Guadalupe hanging on the wall or on a shelf or on a table somewhere. Perhaps all of them. And most of us know that the La Virgen de Guadalupe is a powerful symbol of Mexican identity and faith. Another religious artifact you often see in Mexican homes, often with the image of the Virgen de Guadalupe, are candles, or veladores as they are called here. Now, as a foreigner here, I find this quite interesting because lighting a scented candle for me is not a spiritual thing to do. But a tradition in Mexico is that lighting a candle can mean to begin a conversation with God. Lighting a velador of La Virgen de Guadalupe is to ask for her intercession. And because of this, you also see many scented veladores associated with different dreams and prayers one might have in their life, such as wealth, health, and safety. Dr. Simi, everyone, and today he seems really shy. Remember in a recent video he was going for it. Oh my, now he's going to hide behind the pillar. And the next thing that is so common in Mexican homes is again one which for some Mexicans might be an odd choice. But through my eyes in Mexico, it is something that I noticed when I got here. What am I talking about? I'm talking about these things. Enamel-coated kitchenware known as Palter in Mexico. Now, I admit not every single Mexican household has it. It's less common in the younger generations, but older generations, without doubt, have some turquoise blue Palter products in their cupboards. And for Mexicans, there is a homely and traditional feel. An old lady in the market just now told me that she likes to pour coffee using a Palter coffee jug because it feels traditional. And these days, these products are apparently getting into fashion again. Perhaps it's becoming popular within the hipster communities in Mexico to eat their breakfast off a Palter plate. I don't know, but what I do know is that in the UK, Palter kitchen products are only associated with one thing: camping. Yes, until I came to Mexico, this was always a camping product for me, but not anymore. I've even got some in my cupboards, just like Mexicans do. Wowzers, she's definitely my type with that colourful Mexico top on there. Anyway, I'm outside the supermarket because I'm now going to talk about a few things that pretty much all Mexican households have in their cupboards. So firstly, a really obvious one: Salsa Valentina, of course. It really is an absolute classic. Now, I'm not sure about this. Let me know in the comments how you use Salsa Valentina. But for me, it's one of those products that you have at home. You don't use it all the time because so many better salsas come your way, but it sits there in the cupboard waiting for moments like a YouTube binge session where you make some popcorn and pour some Salsa Valentina over it. Next, let's talk about yogurt. But I'm not talking about actual yogurt. That's too obvious. What I'm talking about are the containers. If you go into a Mexican fridge, it's very likely that you will find multiple yogurt containers of various sizes and brands, not containing any yogurt, but instead containing things like homemade salsas and beans. And I'm not sure why, but DIY Tupperware is really common in Mexico. Check out this adapted bicycle. This is true Mexico to the max. And this is surely a trade delivery with clients such as street stands. You just have to love it. Next, let's talk about some other random things Mexicans often have at home. First, vapor rub. Now I know it's a bit of a generalization to say Mexican mums and Mexican women in general use vapor rub as a cure-all for so many things in daily life, like dry lips and all that kind of stuff. But really, vapor rub is a lot more common in Mexico than in countries such as the UK, where I'm from. And to finish off today, I have one more thing that is common in a Mexican house. And actually, I got the idea for this video in the comments on my last video. David Vader said, "Another way you know if you are Mexican is if you own a blanket with an animal printed on it." I have a tiger one, and this really made me laugh because in my life in Mexico, I've come across these warm blankets with animals on them many times, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. And then people started commenting that they have one with bears, lions, zebras, horses. It really made me laugh, and it's true. Many Mexican households will have some warm blankets with an animal printed on it. That's definitely not common on any house anywhere in the world. Anyway, I'm getting out of here now. If you enjoyed this True Mexico episode, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new to my channel, why not click on one of my videos on the screen there and subscribe. And as always, a special thank you to my patrons on Patreon. I really do need that financial support, so thank you. Anyway, I'm Paul. This is True Mexico. Hasta luego!